All right, it's been a few days. I kind of got stuck on a couple boxes, which is really silly. But there's a couple interesting things happening. So this is actually really fun. I ended up having to sort of make my own workaround. I don't want to call it an exploit or a hack. It's just a workaround because it's not too difficult. But it was still something not standard to the walkthrough that's provided because the walkthrough straight up didn't work. So this is SunsetDecoy, which is on VulnHub and also OCP Proving Grounds. I think Proving Grounds might be a little bit different, such that it disallows the no profile escape. But so yeah, let's just get started here. Um, we start Nmap, scan C, scan V, T5, aggressive, and then sunset.local. I think I'm forgetting one, but that should do it for me. And it comes up with just 22 and 80. And so we go to 80, which we're going to do anyways. We get save.zip. There's save.zip. So we go unzip save.zip, and it asks you for a password. And we're like, what do we do? If you're like me. There's something to crack that pretty easily. It's called well, you use John the Ripper, so you use John. But the thing you need to hash the file, and then so you use zip to John, save.zip to hash.text, and then we just do, I think, John of hash.text. Yeah, just that simple and fast. Just right there. So, what else do we need to know? We need to know a username. Of course, that's the password for, or the password for the file. But we'll get the password from the stuff. So ls, we go to Etsy, as it says. We have a lot of useful files. We have password and shadow, which is the big ones. So we just use unshadow, I think, and then password and shadow. And then what's the next step here? Good thing I wrote this down. Unshadow. That's right. Then you use your word list. So unshadow that to unshadowed.text, and then you use John word list. I just want to see what that did. And then we get our word list. Word list equals user share word list. I probably need to unzip this because I haven't done it on this machine yet. Split horizontally. Unzip. Share word list. Oh. Yeah. I haven't used Z shell necessarily very much. Awesome. Yeah, it's okay. John word list equals user share word lists rocku.text, and the input is unshadowed.text. I hope that's right. It's fine. So it's going to do this. It'll very quickly find the password for the giant username. And it'll never find the one for root. Even though if we look, we've got a salted password here and a salted password here. This is unfortunately just a waste of time. So we've got a username and a password. SSH at sunset.local. Server. Easy enough. Now, we see immediately we got rbash dear colors command not found. What that indicates is that it's running a profile script. And so let's just start by trying to get around that. The way you do that is SSH T bash no profile. Unfortunately, that doesn't work here. I don't know why. Like I said, in the walkthrough, that's the way to do it. Doesn't work for me. Ls, there's some files in here that weren't here before, but we're just going the critical path here. So first off, we try to cat user.text, and we don't have cat. We try user bin cat user.text. Hey, that actually worked. Maybe that's what I did then. But it didn't. One huge thing that it was not allowing me to do was to put forward slashes in my commands. Now that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you my workaround. So we go in here and assume that didn't work. Well, we have honeypot.decoy, which is an executable. And we can't open up Vim because we just can't get to it. We can't get to it from the user bin directory, and our path doesn't include user bin. So even that wouldn't happen normally. Hashbang bin bash, that was just something I tried. What we do here is set shell equals bin shell, so it's not bash. If it's bash, it'll do rbash. And then we just go back, we do shell, and there we go. Just kidding. Local.text. It's not quite as nice as the other way, but it's fine. I like my way. Now, I went through a few things. I did wget. If you can see the Linux privilege escalation script, I did suid enum, and then I tried a weird exploit for pk exec. Didn't do anything for me. So I unfortunately had to go through the walkthrough, and the thing is that there was something I didn't know, and that's why I'm making this, even though I didn't figure out the privilege escalation myself, because this is pretty sweet. It introduced me because it said, okay, you're gonna find this executable, or rather this process that's running called ChrootKit. And I was like, now it said that there's a file that was in our user directory that would list that. I didn't find anything at all like that. And so I was like, whatever. Not really whatever, but I was just like, I need to figure out how to do this. So somebody mentioned running pspy64. And that's very interesting. What that does is it's probably like a Python base or process spy 64, not Python. Process spy. And then it shows you this stuff. And it's interesting. You see Apache and anything else. That's fine. It doesn't need that. That's the end of it. So honeypot.decoy. Oh, it's still running. It's fine. I don't know if it was going to show TrueRootKit because I don't know what it looked like last time. So the critical thing here is launch an AV scan. It says it'll be launched in a minute or less. Let's go /pspy64 and see what it's doing. Nothing too interesting. Let's just wait for it. I've never seen it pop up, so I expect it might. It did say less than a minute, so we just we'll just wait a little bit. There we go. So there's that crazy thing, TrueRootKit, and we can hit. Can we scroll back with this? I don't have much experience with this particular terminal, so I don't know. Oh yeah, we can. It is scrolling. That's pretty cool. I guess forget Tmux. Sorry. Loved you while I had you. Just kidding, I still use you. Oh, is it not scrolling? Okay, it is scrolling. Good. So TrueRootKit 0.49. That is a lot of output. But I guess if it's an AV scanner, then you're going to get a lot. TrueRootKit over here. You actually don't need to worry about too much. The bottom line with this is you need to put, oh yeah, there we go. Put an executable named update in temp, and then run TrueRootKit, and then temp update will be executed as root. So whatever you make it do, it's gonna make it happen. The walkthrough had you see. I didn't know about TrueRootKit, about it running or anything. I had it run before, or something like that. But I didn't know if it was running when it was running. But I guess so. What the walkthrough has you do is make a reverse shell inside of temp update and connect back to yourself, which immediately roots you. But if you wanted to, you could just as easily like get rid of the rbash or set a malicious script inside your home directory as SUID with the root owner, and but like 777 permissions, and just do that. But let me go back here. Or just get LVP 9000. And then we'll do this one more time. Launch an AV scan. Watch over here. That's eventually going to connect. I'm going to very quickly show you temp update. All it is, netcat execute, bin shell, and then connect back to my IP address and port. And we'll just wait here for less than a minute, and there it is right there. Root. I think it's proof.txt. There we go. There's a root flag. That's it. That was a little bit of an interesting walkthrough, wasn't it? But very, very interesting, fun, and I learned something. This is now I'm using Kali from a virtual machine, virtual appliance from my box, not using it in a browser anymore, so I can build a lasting environment and not have to build it up every time. So that's why I have that scripts folder, which is a fun time. Anyways, that's my party for today.